Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Brandon Wynn, back again with Critical Failure, and apparently the lighting just does not want to work with me at all. Uh, we are on the White Dragons, which thankfully is the last of the dragons, because Jesus, or at least last of the chromatic dragons. We have the metallic dragons after that, and there's so fucking many dragons. Anyway, just to get straight into it, I'm going to give you the legendary, ancient white, whatever, the ancient white dragons stuff, the stats, and I'm going to go over the white dragon lore, and let's just dive into it. The white dragons are the smallest and least intelligent, not they're not super intelligent, they're just the least intelligent of the chromatic dragons, and the most animalistic of the chromatic dragons. White dragons dwell in frigid climes, favoring Arctic areas or icy mountains, kind of like a tundra, tundras and like Antarctica type of stuff. Uh, they're vicious, cruel reptiles driven by hunger and greed. A white dragon has feral eyes, a sleek profile, and a spined crest. I kind of imagine like white dragons as like semi-half starved dragons. Like they're always really having to compete for food, so they're very super serious about what they have. At least the younger ones do. The scales of a wormling white dragon glisten pure white. As the dragon ages, its sheen disappears and some of its scales begin to darken, so that by the time it is old, it is mottled by patches of pale blue and light gray. This pattern helps the dragon blend into the realms of ice and stone in which it hunts, and to fade from view when it soars across a blue-filled sky. So it more or less is just getting even better camouflage as it gets older. It's kind of bullshit. Primal and vengeful. These things are dicks. White dragons lack the cunning and tactics of most other dragons. However, their bestial nature makes them the best hunters among all dragonkind, including chromatic gem and dragonkin. Singularly focused on surviving and slaughtering their enemies, a white dragon consumes only food that has been frozen, devouring creatures killed by its breath weapon while they are still stiff and frigid. And encases other kills in ice and buries them in snow for near its lair. And finding such a larder is a good indication that a white dragon dwells nearby. So basically, if you see a bunch of like villagers, mammoths, giants, all that type of stuff, and they're frozen and it's kind of hidden off, you're probably fucked. At least as a low-level adventurer group. Uh, a white dragon also keeps the bodies of its greatest enemies as trophies, freezing corpses where it can look upon them and gloat. I mean, these things I don't think necessarily keep like minions, so if you kind of show up on it, it's like, haha, I've killed all those guys. It's like you were probably the first person or group in years that this thing talks to, so that's kind of depressing. It just must really talk to itself and give itself a pep talk. Like, I know it rehearses every second it gets. Like, I know what I'm going to say when something intelligent comes through. It's like, okay, good job, Rick. I don't know where I went from there. Uh, a white dragon also keeps the body of his greatest enemies as trophies, freezing corpses, blah, blah, blah. The remains of giants, remor hazes, I don't know what the fuck that is, and other dragons are often positioned prominently within a white dragon's lair as warning to intruders. Can you imagine, like, there's a white dragon, and then it has, like, a red dragon wormling or a young red dragon, and it's just frozen, and it's just like, yeah, that's Greg. Fuck Greg. Anyway, though only moderately intelligent, white dragons have extraordinary memories. Yeah, they're a lot like my girlfriend. They don't ever forget shit. Uh, they recall every slight and defeat and have been known to conduct malicious vendettas against creatures that have offended them. This often includes silver dragons, which lair in the same territories as white dragons. I don't like the fact that it says as white. That just sounds really wrong. White dragons can speak as well White dragons speak as all dragons can, but rarely talk unless moved to do so. Basically, it's just going to act. It doesn't care to really talk unless it's gloating about killing things or the fact that it has basically a Medusa Stonehenge. But yeah, lone masters. While dragons avoid all other dragons except whites, I don't. Why does it fucking say that? It's so weird. Just say white dragons. It just makes it sound really wrong. Except white dragons of the opposite sex. Even then, when white dragons see, it says it there. White dragons seek each other out as mates. They stay together only long enough to conceive offspring before fleeing into isolation again. It's like my dad. White dragons can't abide rivals near their lairs. As a result, a white dragon attacks other creatures without provocation. I mean, most dragons really don't give a shit. They just do it anyways. Viewing such creatures as either too weak or too powerful to live. If it's too powerful, a white dragon, you probably don't want to fuck with it. Survival, you know? The only creatures that typically serve a white dragon are intelligent humanoids that demonstrate enough strength to assuage the dragon's wrath and can put up with the sustaining regular losses as a result of its hunger. Basically, if you're too fucking strong, it's not gonna fucking care. It's gonna be like, you know what? You can help me to a degree by not killing me, so I'll let you live. And it's just that being's like, more like I let you fucking live. Powerful creatures can sometimes gain a white dragon's obedience through a demonstration of physical or magical might. Imagine like One Punch Man, you know, Saitama punching the absolute dicks out of a fucking like a white dragon, and the ancient white dragons just sitting there like, I'm not fucking with you. You want a pet? I'll be a pet. I'll act like I don't do shit, and I'll just be there. Like I imagine that type of stuff, like some super impressive shit. Frost Giants challenge white dragons to prove their own strength and improve their status in their clans, and their cracked bones litter many of the white dragon's lairs. However, a white dragon defeated by a frost giant often becomes its servant, accepting the mastery of a superior creature in exchange for asserting its own dominance over the other creatures that serve or oppose the dragon. I forgot that part existed, so I'm actually quite surprised. Like, I remember the part where they fight each other and they're kind of mortal enemies. I don't remember the part that they serve because it's just kind of anticlimactic. It's like, oh, you beat my ass, and I'm just like, I feel like the frost giant would just wear you as a kilt. Just saying. Treasure under ice, because, you know, that doesn't directly state where the treasure is. White dragons love the cold sparkle of ice and favor treasures with similar qualities, particularly diamonds. Took my wrist and froze it. However, in their remote Arctic climes, treasure hoards of white dragons more often contain walrus and mammoth tusk ivory, whalebone sculptures. Okay, that's strange. Figureheads from ships, furs, magic items seized from overly bold adventurers. Loose coins and gems are spread across a white dragon's lair, glittering like stars when the light strikes them. Larger I thought it said creatures. Larger treasures in chests are encased in layers of rime created by the white dragon's breath, and held great strength allows it to easily access its wealth, while lesser creatures must spend hours chipping or melting the ice to reach the dragon's main hoard, because they have secondary ones. A white dragon's flawless memory means that it knows how it came to possess every coin, gem, and magic item in its hoard. That's a lot of work to put a fucking DM through. White dragons are notoriously difficult to bribe, since any offers of treasure are seen as an insult to their ability to simply slay the creature making the offer and seize the treasure for itself. It's like, hey, look, yo, I will give you 1 million platinum. It's like, I could just take that from you. It's like that type of shit. Anyway, a white dragon's lair. White dragons lair in icy caves and deep subterranean chambers, far from the sun. I do that too, but when I do that, I'm called a shut-in. They favor high mountain vales, accessible only by flying, caverns and cliff faces, and labyrinthine ice caves and glaciers. White dragons love vertical heights in their caverns, flying up into the ceiling to latch on like bats and slithering down icy crevices. A legendary. I'm not drunk enough. A legendary white dragon's innate magic deepens. Oh, okay. Deepens a cold in the area around its lair. Mountain caverns are fast frozen by the white dragon's presence. The white dragon can often detect intruders by the way the keening wind in its lair changes tone. I get what it's supposed to mean, but I just imagine, because I play guitar, that it's a completely different fucking, like, aspect of things. A white dragon rests on high ice shelves and cliffs in its lair. The floor around is a treacherous morass of broken ice and stone. Hidden pits and slippery slopes as foes struggle to move toward it. The dragon flies from perch to perch and destroys them with its freezing breath. And that's when all the spellcasters just simultaneously use fucking fireball and just bring the entire cavern down. Because fuck you, dragon. Probably still hasn't out. Layer actions. On initiative count 20, losing initiative ties, the dragon takes a layer action to cause one of the following effects. Can't use the same one 2 rounds in a row. Like normal. Freezing fog fills a 20-foot radius centered on a point the dragon can see within 120 feet of it. The fog spreads around corners, and the area is heavily obscured. Each creature in the fog when it appears must make a DC 10 con save, taking 10 average 3d6 cold damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. Creature that ends in the fog takes the same damage. A wind of at least 20 miles per hour, so it has to be like a pretty heavy spell, disperses the fog. The fog otherwise lasts until the dragon uses a lair action again or until the dragon dies. The next one, Jagged ice shards fall from the ceiling, striking up to 3 creatures underneath that the dragon can see within 120 feet. The dragon makes 1 range attack, plus 7 to hit, against each target. On a hit, it takes 10 average 3d6 piercing damage. And the last one, it's an ice wall that 30 feet long, 30 feet high, and 1 foot thick, and it can cast it within 120 feet of it. Each creature within the area is pushed 5 feet out of the wall space, appearing on whichever side of the wall it wants. Each 10-foot section of the wall has an AC of 5, 30 hit points. I dropped my thing. Vulnerability to fire, and immunity to acid, cold, necrotic, poison, and psychic damage. But fuck you, force damage. And poison damage. I don't think it said poison damage. No, it said poison. Never mind. The wall disappears when the dragon uses its lair action again, or when the dragon dies. It's also good with lightning, which is weird. Like, I don't know why lightning would be put on there, but hey, thunder makes sense because it's like a sound. Lightning, I guess, is because it's heated. Makes sense, kind of. Regional effects. Gets fucking cold. It can create one of these effects or more. Chilly fog lightly obscures a land within 6 miles. Lightly obscures? I would say it's fucking dense the closer you get in. Freezing precipitation falls within 6 miles of the dragon's lair. I mean, you're in the fucking Arctic and tundra. Why the fuck wouldn't it be kind of freezing? Ice walls block off airs in the dragon's lair. Each wall is 6 inches thick and 10-foot sections. Each 10-foot section has an AC of 5, 15 points, and the same vulnerabilities and immunities. If the dragon wishes to move through a wall, it can do so without slowing down. The portion of the wall the dragon moves through is then destroyed, though. If the dragon dies, the fog and precipitations leave after 1 day. The ice walls melt after 1d10 days. I got really sidetracked just trying to be stupid. The Ancient White Dragon. It's a gargantuan dragon, chaotic evil. It's got a natural armor of 20, average hit point count of 333, speed of 40 feet, burrow speed of 40 feet, flight speed of 80 feet, swim speed of 40 feet. I think it's only one with the burrow out of the chromatic ones. It's a strength of 26, plus 8, dex of 10, plus 0, con 26, plus 8, intelligence of 10, so it's not, absolutely stupid. Wisdom of 13, plus 1, and charisma of 14, plus 2. So saving throws are dex, plus 6, con plus 14, wisdom plus 7, charisma plus 8, meaning it's a plus 6 proficiency bonus. It's got proficient skills in perception and stealth, which are 13 and 6. It's immune to cold. It does not have any vulnerabilities. It's got blind sight up to 60 feet, dark vision up to 120 feet, and a passive perception of 23. Speaks common and draconic, probably more because it's ancient. It's a challenge rating 20, 25,000 experience points. Ice Walk, basically, it can move across icy surfaces without making an ability check. Also, it doesn't cost extra movement. It has a legendary resistance 3 times a day. I'm not getting into that shit anymore. Multi-attack. It can use its Frightful Presence, then makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite, 2 with its claws. The bite. It's a plus 14 to hit, reach of 15 feet, 1 target only, 19 average, 2d10 plus 8 piercing damage, plus 9 average, 2d8 cold damage. Oh, that's 2d10 plus 8 piercing damage, my bad. The claw, it's a melee weapon, plus 14 to hit, reach of 10 feet, 1 target only, 15 average, 2d6 plus 8 slashing damage. And the tail, it's a melee weapon attack, 14 to hit, reach of 20 feet, 1 target only, 17 average, 2d8 plus 8 bludgeoning damage. Frightful Presence. Each creature of the dragon's choice within 120 feet and aware must succeed a DC 16 wisdom saving throw or become frightened for 1 minute. It can repeat the save at the end of its turn, ending the effect on a success. If it passes, it's immune for the next 24 hours. It's breath weapon. So it recharges on a 5 or 6 on a d6 roll. Shoots in a 90-foot cone. Each creature inside cone must make a DC 22 con save, taking 72 average, 16 d8 cold damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Now it's got 3 legendary actions. It's taken on the on another opponent's turn, basically. It can't take them back to back. It's got to be on another creature's turn. It can make a perception check, can make a tail attack, or the wing attack, which costs 2 actions. The dragon beats its wings. Each creature within 15 feet of the dragon must make a DC 22 Dex save or take 15 average, 2d6 plus H bludgeoning damage, be knocked prone, and the dragon can fly up to half of its speed. Anyway, that's the Ancient White Dragon, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and stay tuned as I bring you more videos. See ya.